um, sometime in November, it was probably a week of Thanksgiving. I found myself sleeping out of my car, and I was at the MGM. I would sleep at the MGM at night, and throughout the day I would go upstairs where everybody was, and I would bring my laptop, and I would read, and I would try to work on something. Some of the books that I'm about to publish now, hopefully tonight, but I'm kind of busy. But I don't know. One day I was just sitting there, and I was just, just sometimes I just think about the situation that I'm in, and by then I kind of already identified as homeless. So just one day I was just chilling, doing regular things, my thing, whatever. And I happened to see somebody walk across me, and he kind of caught my eye because he kind of had like a cane or something. He was like maybe like 40 something. I would say he's about 42 or something. And he was digging in the trash can, like in front of, like, there's a lot of people over there. I mean, he's digging in the trash can, and I kind of looked at him for a little bit, and I was like, "Hey, I didn't mean to." I didn't mean to come off so strong, but I was kind of shocked. I never actually seen anyone digging in the trash can, but it happened, and I'm like, hey man, you ain't got to do all that, man. Man, what you want, man? You hungry or something? Because at the time, because I was still working in construction, the hours were not all that stable. I was out of work for a couple of days, but I had a little something going for me, so I was just like, you want something or whatever? And I was like, yeah, what you want? Look around. I mean, and at the MGM, the food is kind of just expensive. It's ridiculous. But I'm like, whatever, man. He may not. Who knows? The next time he'll get a meal. I mean, there's always something in me telling me to do the right thing, and when I choose not to do it, it paralyzes me a little bit. It lowers my self-esteem when I know I can make a difference, and I just choose not to. But, I asked him what he wanted. He was like, I never tried sushi or anything like that, so maybe I'll have some of that. I was like, look, I'll get you sushi, but it's not filling. It's not going to fill you up at all. I'm like, you want something else, whatever? Like, yeah, you can double cheeseburger, whatever, I'm like, what you want? You want Coke? You want something to drink or whatever? He's like, yeah. So, I go give him the food and all that. I bring it back to him. Obviously, he expresses his gratitude and humility and things like that. But the message that I got from that, it was like, even when you feel like you're at your lowest, there's somebody doing worse than you. And even at your lowest, you can still make a difference. And then I realized that maybe I wasn't all that alone. I never found myself digging in the trash can, and worse come to worse, there's always somebody I could reach out to. Somebody always willing to help me. And with that, it freed me up, and I started thinking to myself, actually, as I was reading this book called No Excuses by Brian Tracy, which I recommend. I started telling myself, man, there's really no excuse. I could really make something out of myself, man. Like, I owe it to people like him who don't have anybody to rely on. For whatever reason, he found himself in that position. He was probably alone. He had nobody to rely on. And here we are at the MGM. There's a lot of big money over there. I mean, who knows what would have happened if had I not stepped in or whatever. But that's regardless of the fact. But again, sometimes you have to zoom out of yourself, zoom out of your picture, and understand that your problems, not only are your problems small in comparison to the universe, but the people around you, man, they are also going through some shit. And if you want to separate yourself from your problems, if you want to make your problems smaller than they appear to you, because I mean, a lot of times they often are, and it's just a matter of how we perceive them. Be a beacon of hope for others. Help somebody. And I feel like that's what gave me the most relief, when I separate from myself and understand that I can make contributions to somebody else's life. So I never, try to talk myself out of trying to do something for people. Or when I wake up in the morning and You know, I never ruminate on, you know, oh, I'm in a shitty situation, or, you know, my life is some shit, or I'm sorry I got to go to work, and, you know, just things like that, because there's a lot of people who would kill to have the opportunity that you have, to be in the position that you're in. It might not seem like much to you, but you can always leverage it. And that's what I learned. And also I learned that sleeping out of the car is a lot better than sleeping in a goddamn wherever, on the streets, or, you know, people could just walk by you and things like that. That's it. Whatever message you can get from that, take it. Have a good one.